Let's talk about previously graded comics on this episode of What's in the Press. Stick around. Hey there, I'm Kevin the Comic Doctor, and I'm a comic book presser located in Oshawa, Ontario, Canada. You know, I'm often asked about removing previously graded comic books from their slabs, cleaning them, pressing them, and then resubmitting them for grading. Well, on this special episode of What's in the Press, we'll be taking a close look at a few high-grade, high-value comic books that have been submitted to me for just that reason, to be pressed and cleaned. We could check them out together while they're still in their slabs. And hey, I want to know, do you have any graded comic books that you would like to have worked on, removed from their slabs, pressed and cleaned, and then regraded? If so, please let me know about those books in the comment section below. And if you like great comic book content, I really think you're going to like this channel. Please consider subscribing. Okay, here we go. Okay, so just like I said at the beginning of the video, we're going to talk about cracking, graded slabs and releasing the comics and working on the comics and what that entails and what have you. And the reason I brought that up is because just this week, I had 2 clients approach me to do just that. So I figured it'd be fun to kind of go over this with a quick little What's in the Press video, a special edition as it were. First of all, we have a book that comes to us from Brent out of Toronto, and he submits to me, I received this yesterday in the mail, a copy of Hulk 181. And the book Brent was nice enough to take it out of the slab for me already. It's still sealed in the inner well, so I have to still cut this inner well and get the book out of there. And here's the notice of what it was. It was a 5-0. Now, you always got to look at a book before you do this. And this one, I think, was crying and screaming, "Release me!" and work on me, because if I even just show you this, even with this camera work, check this out. Look at how filthy that back cover is. Absolutely filthy. And you can even see if I tilt the book a little bit, you'll see lots of finger dents in the back of that yellow portion of the book. You can even see a big dent. Whoops, sorry about that. If it hit the microphone. Right over here, you can see a big dent in the corner there as well. So that can be fixed. Also, when you turn to the front, if I tilt this into the light, you'll probably see it. There, I'll go this way. Yeah, right about there. You can see by this finger here, look at that big dent right down the center by the K. And even if we follow the light down, yeah, right there. Look at all those imperfections in the front cover. This book is a fantastic candidate for being taken out of the slab, worked on, and resubmitted. It was a 5-0. I anticipate this book could come back as high as, maybe not a 7, but I would say a 6.5. 6 to 6.5. If it comes back as 7, I'll be very, very happy. But it's going to clean up really nice. So this is a great candidate for cracking and resubmitting. Okay. Now, another fella submitted some books this week. He wants to remain anonymous, and that's totally cool. But let me show you some of the books. Now, these are high-grade books that are going to be submitted. The first one is, check this out, an ASM number 2, 7.5. Okay? Now, when I look at this book, and it's hard for me. That last book I could show you with the glare, the problems with it. This one, not so much. This is a pretty clean book. But I'm not even going to bother trying to point out the problems with it, because it's really hard to see, even for myself right here. But inspecting the book, I do see issues that can be fixed. So this is certainly a good candidate. We're going to try for an 8.5 on this. If we get to a 9, happy birthday, right? We'll see. But it's a very square, clean book. It's got a couple of imperfections that I'm pretty sure can be removed with a good pressing. So this one is also going in on the operating table this weekend. The same submitter also gives me a copy. Look at this one. Tales of Suspense, 57, first appearance of Hawkeye, in a 9.2. Again, this is a gorgeous book, friends. Looking at it really carefully, there are, very slight areas that could be cleaned. And I see some very minor bends here and there that I'm sure will come out with a press. So if we can bump this baby up to a 9.4 or do a 9.6, wow. I think a 9.4 is certainly reasonable. And so that one's also going to be operated on this weekend. Next, and finally from this submitter, 9.4 ASM 129 with the first appearance of the Punisher. Another high-grade, gorgeous book. You look at this book, it's fantastic. But you know what? There's some dirt along the back of the spine, some grime that I'm going to be able to get rid of. And I also see some finger bends and dents that I can get rid of. So yeah, who knows? Maybe we can pull a 9.6 or a 9.8 out of the hat with this one. That is certainly what we're going to attempt to do. Now, keep in mind, I'm pretty confident with all of these, and even the submitter who's done this time and time again is pretty confident that we can garner higher grades with these ones, but it's never a guarantee. So if doing this type of thing frightens you, or if you could not sleep at night thinking that you might lose half a grade or a grade on a book that's already slabbed, then don't do it. Don't do it. Leave it alone, because you are gambling away a grade. I've done it for my own books, and I've succeeded, and I've also failed. I mean, just recently, if you were following what's in the press, I did a copy of New Mutants 98. It was a 9.4. I took it out, did the work, sent it in, came back a 9.8. Happy birthday, Comic Doctor. But, I've done it before, and, it's funny, though. It's funny, when I take books out, especially high-grade books like a 9.4 or a 9.6, as soon as I take it out of the slab, and I can see the book without the plastic and the acrylic and all the mylars, and I can look at the book, I pretty much know right away if I've made a mistake or not. Because, I remember taking out a modern Amazing Spider-Man book. It was the first Iron Spider, I believe. I took it out. It was a 9.4, and I cracked it and took it out. I was going to, press it and send it back in again. It was a 9.6, not a 9.4. It was a 9.6. I took it out. As soon as I took it out and looked at it, I knew I was not going to get a 9.8. I knew it. I made a boo-boo, right? So I pressed it anyways. I sent it back, and it came back, and it went down to a 9.4. It happens. So you know what? Live and learn. But I can tell you honestly that the majority of times that I do this, the books do come back. They do come back higher grade. But it really does take a keen eye to find those books that have already been slabbed that do have problems that can potentially be fixed. Okay, a way to kind of increase your odds of finding a book that can be fixed is the labels. I'm talking CGC here now. Okay, are the CGC labels. Now, I should have brought a really early one, and I have one, but I'm not going to be able to get it right now. But first of all, we're all familiar with the really early CGC slabs. So this is one of my own books here, and it has a very early CGC label. Okay, now if you find a book that or a collection of books that have these labels, there is a good chance the book has not been worked on yet. There's a good chance the book has not been cleaned, has not been pressed, and you know what? That's a good thing. Then there's potentially some things that can be done to improve the grade. Also, it is believed that back in the day when CGC first opened, their grading standards were a little harder. So people say that if I take this book out right now and send it back as it stands without even pressing it, there's a good chance it might pop it to a 8.5 or a 9. It's an 8, by the way, just so you can see right there. So that's the first label. There's actually a label that came before this as well. Well, that's from the mod. There's a red label that looks like this too, and it's for modern books. It looks exactly the same, but it's kind of like a maroon color. That's also another an early label that's a good one to keep your eye open for. Next, of course, the next generation of CGC labels would be this one right here. This is the one that was out when I started sending books to CGC a long time back. And again, like this particular book, for sure, has never been worked on. I can tell you right now, just looking at it, I can go like this, and maybe if I tilt it, look at where the 3.0 is. I'm trying to get the light to hit this certain way. No, it's not working. There we go. Hold on. Right about, yeah, look at that flaw up underneath the 3 there. That has never been pressed out. This book has never been worked on. So this is a great candidate. Maybe I can get a 3.5 or a 4 out of this. But again, it's my own book. And when do I have time to do my own books? Pretty much never. So this one I've had for, I think, 3 years. And always, yeah, I'm going to get it done one day. Haven't done it as of yet. But again, if you find a book with a label like that, there's a good chance the book has not been worked on yet. Finally, of course, is the new CGC label, which is like the one we see here in this ASM 129, which I already featured. This is a more modern CGC label. It's been around for about probably 4 or 5 years. If you see a book like that, look it. I think I'm pretty busy as a presser. Most good pressers are swamped right now. And I think most people that are sending their books in to get graded at this point are having the books worked on, pressed, cleaned, what have you. It just depends on who's doing the pressing. Not to knock anybody. Just give you an example. Last week, one of my clients gave me a Hulk 181, and he insisted the book had been pressed already by a presser in his, local to him. When I got the book and I opened it up and I took it out of the sleeve, I'm like, this book has been pressed. It didn't seem pressed at all. And actually, he showed me a before picture, and I could see the book had been pressed, and it was better than it was, but it wasn't done yet. This book had more room for improvement. So I did some more work to it. I think I got it to look a hell of a lot better, and then I submitted it as it was after I'd finished my work with it. So again, there are books out there that could still be worked on. It takes a real keen eye to be able to look through this thick acrylic, and I have a little CGC baggie on this too. So I've got this polypropylene bag or mylar bag. Then I have the acrylic plastic. Then I have the inner sleeve plastic to look through to try to figure out if the book can be worked on. It does take some practice and patience and a good eye to notice and recognize any problems that are inherent to the book that could be fixed. If you have a good eye like that, that could turn out to be, come to your benefit. I do know people that will pay a premium on slabbed books that have not been worked on because there's that chance, not just a chance, not a guarantee, but a chance that the books will go up in grade. Well, there you have it. Okay, well, that'll just about do it for this episode of What's in the Press. Thanks so very much for stopping by. Hey, do you have a favorite graded comic book that you would like to have removed from the slab and regraded? Again, let me know in the comments section below. And by leaving a comment below and subscribing, you're automatically entered into a draw to win free pressing by me, the Comic Doctor, and grading by CGC. Take a look at the information section below for more details. Until next time, thanks again for watching, and take care. Bye now.